she would never even wear a dress. She would never, ever.
That's beautiful.
No, she wants to be somebody named Marcus. I said, do you want to be in Aurora? Aurora, you have any interest? And she said, no, I'll be Marcus. And I said, who's Marcus? She said, Marcus has horns and a bow and arrow.
When Angelina Jolie gave birth to her first child, Shiloh, the press simply went mad for her. Everyone wanted to see her face. In fact, Angelina ended up selling the pictures of Shiloh for millions of dollars. Today, that child has now grown up and is still wanted by the spotlight, and now we'll be revealing the shocking reason why. Welcome to this channel. Today, we'll look at the fascinating life of Angelina Jolie's family, and we'll be exposing the shocking truth about her transgender kid, Shiloh. Without further ado, let's dive in. When Shiloh Novelle Jolie-Pitt was born in 2006, everyone in the media wanted to know how she would turn out. After all, she was the biological child of superstars Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, two incredibly good-looking and incredibly successful superstars. Her birth was of such great concern to the media that Angelina decided to sell the rights to the first pictures of Shiloh for about $4 million. However, the proceeds from the sale went to UNICEF, not to Angelina's pockets. Shiloh would get to grow up in relative obscurity until, well, people started to wonder about her style of dressing. For one, she never wore makeup and didn't look anything like your regular child. She was always wearing trousers and always looking like a boy in public. This trend didn't change even on the red carpet, as Shiloh continued to wear formal suits and not the dresses and gowns that her sister wore. This, of course, got tongues wagging. Was Shiloh transgender? Or was she just a tomboy who wanted to look like one of the boys? No one knew the answers to this question until Angelina Jolie answered it herself. Jolie said that Shiloh dressing like a boy wasn't a coincidence. That was actually how she loves to dress. She also added that Shiloh is dressing in the Montenegro style, while alluding that most Montenegro people also wore tracksuits and male attire. Is that true? Well, not really. People in Montenegro also wear gowns, dresses, and traditional female attire, so maybe Jolie made a forgivable gaffe with that one. Thankfully, that's not all she said about the matter. She also said that Shiloh loves to dress like a boy. And not only that, Shiloh does want to become a boy, which had everyone's trans radar blinking. Aside from this, Jolie also said that Shiloh wanted her hair cut. She also added that Shiloh is so at home with her gender identity that she now identifies better with her elder brothers and always makes sure she's wearing male attire. Of course, many people had positive comments for Jolie and her family, but as you'd expect, a lot of many others had ignorant and vile questions for her. In fact, according to some, Jolie was forcing Shiloh to be a boy. This group of people claims that Jolie has been dressing Shiloh as a boy ever since she was a baby, when Shiloh couldn't even decide whether she wanted to be a boy or a girl. But what's the shocking truth? Is Angelina Jolie forcing Shiloh to be transgender, or is there something else happening here? The answer may shock you. The answer is that it's a little bit of both. An anonymous source has recently come out to spill the beans about the entire issue. According to the source, immediately after Angelina Jolie's divorce from Brad Pitt, their ideas of how best to raise their child began to diverge. According to the anonymous source, Brad Pitt believes that Shiloh is gender fluid. That means she can be male on some days and female on other days. However, it seems like Angelina Jolie isn't entirely on board with that identity. Instead, she wants Shiloh to be transgender. And it appears that this is frustrating Brad, who doesn't care about what choice Shiloh makes, as long as it's her choice to make. The source said that Brad is okay with Shiloh being trans. What he isn't okay with is her mother forcing her to make choices she doesn't want to make. Of course, to some, this may make Brad look like a transphobic dad. But the source says that Brad is not transphobic. He just doesn't want Shiloh to be pressured into making a choice she doesn't want, especially as she'll always be in the spotlight for most of her life because of her parents. Nevertheless, Shiloh started taking sex hormones at the age of 12 with the permission of her parents. Of course, Brad was totally on board with this, which makes the claims of him not being completely comfortable with Shiloh's trans identity a bit, well, suspect. And of course, there's also the fact that Shiloh doesn't actually like being referred to as Shiloh by her parents. According to Brad, she prefers to be called John, and this preference was inspired by the Peter Pan movies. Interestingly, Shiloh, or John, made this choice when she was just about 3 years old, which may authenticate the fact that she always felt better as a boy. While these claims are certainly extraordinary, it's important to take them with a pinch of salt. Angelina and Brad haven't come out to address the rumors, and knowing how tight-lipped they tend to be about issues like this, it's unlikely they'll ever speak about it. We may wait until Shiloh feels comfortable with talking to the media before we know the truth. While these claims may make it sound like there's a rift in the Jolie-Pitt family, it doesn't look like it from the outside. For example, there's no doubt that Brad and Angelina love Shiloh. On her 14th birthday, they threw a special pizza party for Shiloh, and Brad even gushed about her to his friends. Aside from the party, Brad asked his film editor to put a video together of messages from her family and friends all over the world, some of whom she hasn't seen since the beginning of the pandemic. He also gave her a vintage Polaroid camera and made a book of all her best photographs from the past few years. It was such a lovely affair, and we are all sure that Shiloh would have been very pleased about the love and affection her parents showed her. We guess that's all that matters in the end. As long as her parents support her and his decisions, Shiloh or John would be okay. And that's what everyone wants. That's it for today, guys. Goodbye and see you in the next video. And don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons. Stay safe.